Hello, good morning. Good morning, my dear students. Welcome to online classes for UG students COVID 19 for the academic year 2020-21. This is the Pinnanti Ramreddy, lecturer in English, Government Degree College, Mahbubabad, District Mahbubabad. Today we are going to discuss the first semester syllabus, Climate Pioneers by Zareen Pervez Bharucha. See, she is Zareen Pervez Bharucha, who worked on the environment. About her, she is a senior research fellow, Faculty of Science and Engineering, location Cambridge, areas of expertise, global risk and resilience. Research supervision, yes, she has research supervision, and Zareen is an interdisciplinary environmental social scientist. Her core research focus is on environmental change in rural India with a particular focus on water scarcity and dryland agriculture. This she is a senior research fellow. Now she worked as the faculty of science and engineering college, location at Cambridge. Her areas of expertise, she has the knowledge in global risk and resilience. She has the research supervision experience also. She is an interdisciplinary environmental social scientist. So she has multi knowledge on environment, and she was a environmental social scientist. Her core research focus is on environmental change in rural India. Actually, she focused on how the environment is changing in rural India, especially in rural India, how it is getting changes, how it is impacting on the people, how the people are involving in the environment. Like she did her research with a particular, especially she focused on particularly on water scarcity and dryland agriculture. In India, though we have lifelong rivers in India like the Ganges, the Brahmaputra, the Krishna, the Godavari, and so many other rivers, Sindhu, Narmada, Tapati, Mahanadi. But we have lot of dry areas in India because we have our Indian land is like ups and downs. Where the down, there we have the water. In the up area, we are not having sufficient water. So she focused on the water scarcity and dry land agriculture. How the farmers are facing the scarcity of water, the problem of scarcity of water, and how they are involving to do the agriculture in dry lands. Though it is surrounded by the India was surrounded three sides by water, but it is having the water problem in India. See, for example, if you take the Janagama district area in our Telangana region, if you take just as example, every year that previous erstwhile Warangal district, it would have a lot of rains. For example, now we are at Mahbubabad. In our Mahbubabad, we have sufficient rain, sufficient water for the agriculture. Sometimes it is more than sufficient. If you go to the neighbor area like Kotagoda and other Pakala, that area, they would have also have lot of rainwater. That is, and Mulu area also. But for this side, Bhadrachalam and other side, they have full water. But when we go to that Janagama area, so in that particular Janagam, it is I think it is the highest than other areas. It has a lot of water problem. Now our government is pumping through the Devadala lift irrigation project. The ponds and other dams have been filling with lift irrigation water through the Devadala. But earlier, that area, it really it had a great problem of water and also the agriculture. So she has an interest to do the research on particular area where the water scarcity and also the dryland agriculture area. Her background, Zareen's additional research interests are in the sustainable intensification of agriculture, the links between sustainability and well being, and transitions to sustainability. She joined the Global Sustainability Institute (GSI) in October 2016, leading the global risk and resilience theme as well as developing new across theme initiatives. See, let us discuss a little bit about her background of research. This Zareen's additional research interests are in the sustainable intensification of agriculture. Means the existing, she had the additional interest to do the research on existing agriculture. The links between sustainability and well-being, and she wants to show the links between sustainability agriculture and well-being agriculture, and transitions to sustainability. Now, she joined the Global Sustainability Institute (GSI) in October 2016, leading the global risk and resilience theme. She joined there. She took the risk and she worked there as well as developing new cross theme initiatives. She was taking new themes, new initiatives across the country. See how the farmers are doing the agriculture, the climate, how it is. It is really, it is looking, the garden is looking very greenery, it is attractable. But how the farmers are involving, just you look at their faces, how they are deeply involved in working in their field work. When we look at them, we can clearly observe, see how the labor they are involved in the field work, how they are doing the hard work to produce the things through the agriculture. Climate pioneers, how small farmers could be leading the way towards sustainable agriculture. See, she says, not only she says, actually that is exactly, that is true. How the small farmers could be leading the way towards sustainable agriculture. Actually, the large farmers, they were not taking the initiation to give the lead, to lead the agriculture part, but the small farmers, they are taking the initiation to lead the way towards sustainable agriculture. Agriculture is a leading cause of climate change, but it is also undeniably affected by it. Farming must therefore change in order to keep up with global demands while reducing its environmental impact. Without these necessary changes, it is estimated that by 2030, the impacts of climate change will be even worse, causing yields to decline so much that we will cancel out any progress we have made towards eliminating global hunger. See, agriculture is a leading cause of climate change. See, to see the changes in climate, the agriculture is the main cause, it is the main reason, but it is also undeniably affected by it. But the agriculture also, it is affecting the climate, it is affecting the environment. Farming must therefore change in order to keep up with the global demands. What she says, now what the farming system we are following, it must be changed. It should be undergone the changes as per the global demands. still most of our agriculture part have been following the traditional agriculture system. It would have been changed, it would have been modified as per the demands of the global requirement. Today, the world have become the globe. We are producing the things not only for India. We have to produce the things for for the requirement of the world population. And what we require also we can get from other countries. What the other peoples are required, we have to supply them. With that we can get the money, and we can get our country also can get the money with the exchange of the products, with importing, sorry, with exporting and importing system, export system also we can get it, and we can provide for their needs the food. Farming must therefore change in order to keep up with global demands while reducing its environmental impact. See, as per the global demand, we have to try to produce more and more products, but it should not affect the environment. We have to follow the organic agriculture system, organic system to produce the things like our forefather system, like the earlier period system. Without these necessary changes, it is estimated that by 2030, with these changes, we may be getting the what we are expecting by 2030. The impacts of climate change will be even worse, causing yields to decline so much that we will cancel out any progress we have made towards eliminating global hunger. Without changing the climate, without producing without working as per the demand of global, we cannot provide for as per the global hunger. We cannot eliminate the global hunger. Some of those worst affected by climate change are small farmers, those working on land under 2 hectares. There are around 475 the small farms around the world, cultivating around 12% of the world's farmed land. Small farmers in the tropics and poorer agricultural communities will be particularly severely affected by climate change. See, without getting the change, these small farmers, those who working on land under 2 hectares, means if you take as acres, it becomes below 5 acres. 2 hectares means 1 hectare equal to 100 guntas, 1 gunta equal to 2.5 acres. So 2 acres means it is below 5 acres, around 5 acres. So she was saying, some of those worst affected by climate change are small farmers. With this climate, the small farmers who are doing agriculture below 5 acres of land, there are around 475 members, small farms around the world. 475 million small farms around the world. See, not only 475 farmers, 475 million small farmers are there around the world. They are cultivating around 12% of the world's farmed land. If you take the farmed land for 100%, out of 100%, this below 5 acres of land farmers, they are 475 million farmers are doing 12% of the world's farmed land. Small farmers in the tropics and poorer agricultural communities will be particularly severely affected by climate change. See, these small farmers, they will be severely affected. They are the poorer agricultural communities because they have few acres of land in their hand to cultivate, and with the effect of climate, they won't get the production, the yield from the crops. So they particularly severely affected by the climate change. They will be getting the problems. However, many of these small farmers are increasingly using innovative ways of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to climate change. They are the true pioneers of climate smart agriculture, using practices that maintain productivity while decreasing emissions. They are also producing a range of other benefits such as poverty elevation, better nutrition, and biodiversity conservation. See, however, though we have that type of problems in doing that agriculture, but many of these small farmers are increasingly using innovative ways of reducing greenhouse gas emissions and adapting to climate change. But some of those people, some of these 475 million small farmers are taking initiations with doing agriculture with innovative ways and reducing the greenhouse gas emission, which is affecting the climate, which is affecting the environment. They want to get change that. They are the true pioneers of climate smart agriculture who are taking the initiation. Actually, true those are the true pioneers of climate smart agriculture. Means those are the true pioneers of taking the initiation and leading the agricultural part to protecting the environment. They are good. They are true pioneers, using practices that maintain productivity while decreasing emissions. They want to produce more with decreasing the emissions, means that greenhouse gas emissions. They with doing their effects, they are decreasing the greenhouse gas emissions. They are also producing a range of other benefits such as poverty elevation, better nutrition, and biodiversity conservation. And also with their hard work, they are producing a range of other benefits for the agriculture and also for the people. What are the benefits? They are trying to, they themselves are avoiding the poverty and also getting better nutrition and biodiversity conservation with their efforts. They are protecting the climate and like biodiversity conservation. Just if you open the YouTube and if you type about the biodiversity or about the small farmers initiations in some other new methodologies in agriculture, we can get lot of things. Sustainable but healthy yields. In the 20th century, farmers boosted yields by intensifying production, using more water, land, energy, synthetic pesticides, and fertilizers. This model intended to assume that you couldn't have high yields as well as environmental protection. Now we understand that this is a false choice and that sustainable intensification, producing healthy yields and higher incomes while building ecosystems on and around the farm, is possible. And it looks like small farmers are leading the way in implementing such sustainable intensification around the world. In this 20th century, farmers boosted yields by intensifying production, using more water, land, energy, synthetic. Actually, this 20th century is the interconnecting, we can call it is interconnecting era between the tradition to modern technology. Between this 20th century is and was running like a interconnecting century from previous to new. Like during that century, during that period, during the time, our farmers, they boosted yields by intensifying production, using more water, land, energy, synthetic pesticides, and fertilizers. See, before the 20th century farmers, our forefathers, our great forefathers, they did not have such facilities before them. With the effect of industrial revolution, we had our farmers had the energy, more water, land, because with the effect of that industrialization, our people produced that the pump system. With the pumping, they had a lot of water and electricity, and they were used the synthetic pesticides. Earlier, they were not used the pesticides, but in the during the 20th century, they were used the pesticides. All these they were used. It's as a model tendent to you assume that you to yield more, to get more benefit, to get more production. This model tended to assume that you couldn't have high yields as well as environmental protection. Now we understand that this is a false choice and that sustainable intensification, producing healthy yields and higher incomes while building ecosystems on and around the farm is possible. Now, what we would have seen during the 20th century, actually, it is the we have our people or our scientists or our agricultural peoples or we the people would have understood it is the false choice to utilize the more water, more pesticides, and all the things because it is affecting the climate as well as our health, indirectly our health, directly climate. When we are damaging our climate, it is indirectly affecting our health. Producing, sorry, now we understand that this intensification producing healthy yields and higher incomes while building ecosystems on and around the farm is possible, and it looks like small farmers are leading the way in implementing such sustainable intensification around the world. Now when we say, if we say the small farmers are leading to get the changes in the agricultural system, there are three steps towards sustainable intensification. These are increased efficiency, doing more with less, substitution, replacing ineffective or harmful products, and redesign, changing the whole farm to be more sustainable. These steps are not necessarily mutually exclusive. See, there are three steps towards sustainable intensification. What are the three steps? Let us see. These are increased efficiency. They are increasing the efficiency. Doing more with less means doing more with less work. A substitution, replacing ineffective or harmful products, means we try to be used not affecting the health and also the climate, and redesign, changing the whole farm to be more sustainable. These steps are not necessarily mutual exclusive. For example, rice plants are typically planted close together in flooded nurseries, but they can also be grown in nutrient rich nurseries that aren't flooded, something that saves around 40% of the water used compared to conventional production methods. However, the system is about more than simple resource efficiency. It actually involves a fundamental redesign of the whole system of rice production. See, for example, rice plants are typically planted close together in flooded nurseries. In nurseries, they were planting these rice plants close together, but they can also be grown in nutrient rich nurseries that aren't flooded, something that saves around 40% of the water used compared to conventional production method. See, in our field system, we are giving lot of water for the paddy, for the rice plants to produce to get the good crop. But in the new model, new method, just we are giving the water now and then, but we are getting production, and we are saving the 40% of the water which we were used in our conventional agricultural system. This is one great step for the agriculture to protect the water. However, the system is about more than simple resource efficiency. It actually involves a fundamental redesign of the whole system of rice production. This is only possible when we redesign our rice production system. See how they are farming their agriculture, how they are collecting the paddy together and doing the agriculture, how the farmer is doing. See there. Substitution involves replacing less sufficient or harmful inputs such as synthetic pesticides, which can be harmful for wildlife, with better alternatives. You can also replace old crop varieties with new ones that can withstand sudden changes or which need less water, important for climate resilience. New varieties may also be able to help reduce agricultural emissions. For example, plants with greater root mass could help sequester an estimated 50 to 100 tons of carbon per hectare. See, it means what plants will take less water, we have to plant them. But in a new climate, whether they live or not, here we should take the old seeds or old variety of the plants in a new method and try to be protect them to get the good crops. And the system what we follow to do the agriculture, it should not harmful to the wildlife, because in this environment how the human beings are willing to survive, like all animals, all the things, they are also having same equal right to live in this wall, in this environment, with better alternatives. So to protect them, we have to think what are the alternatives, like we have to do innovative things. You can also replace old crop varieties with new ones that can withstand sudden changes or which need less water, important for climate resilience. What we are taking, it should be strong in climate changing also. New varieties may also be able to help reduce agricultural emissions. And what we are trying to produce, to plant the new varieties, it make that it eliminate the gas emissions. For example, plants with greater root mass could help sequester an estimated 50 to 100 tons of carbon per hectare. If you plants with great root mass, they can sequester 50 to 100 tons of carbon per hectare. Radical approaches. Radical approaches means that is speed approaches. Radical redesign of farms involves techniques such as conservation agriculture practices that minimize the disruption of the soil structure and biodiversity. Integrated pest management, which involves strategies to deal with the pests without posing risks to the environment. And agroforestry, using trees in agriculture, are also good examples. A recent assessment estimated that around 163 million farms worldwide, 29% of the global total, practice some form of redesign. Now, in this agriculture, the way what we are doing have been undergone the radical changes, the redesigning. Radical redesign of farms involves techniques, with new techniques, new approaches they are trying to do the agriculture, such as conservation agriculture, practices that minimize the disruption of the soil structure and biodiversity. So the damage of the soil they want to minimize. Integrated pest management, and also they want to minimize the pesticides also, which involves strategies to deal with pests without posing risks to the environment. What they are using, the natural pests, it won't give the harm to the natural environment. And agroforestry, using tree in agriculture, are also good examples. So that trees and other things also better example in using agriculture. A recent assessment estimated that around 163 million farms worldwide. Throughout the world, 163 million farmers, they assessed 29% of the global total practice some form of redesign. 163 million farmers are planning to redesign their agriculture system. The evidence shows that these methods are already helping small farmers achieve healthy yields while delivering a range of other benefits, including sequestration, using less energy, and synthetic inputs and climate resilience. See, the evidence shows that these methods are already helping small farmers. In her research, she found so many evidences, and she was saying those are helping the small farmers to do their agriculture and achieve their healthy yields, to get the healthy yields while delivering a range of other benefits. And not only getting the yields, we are getting other benefits, the health benefits, and carbon sequestration, using less energy, and synthetic inputs, and climate resilience. Example is the push-pull integrated pest management. Push-pull is a method of pest control that was developed in East Africa to help farmers deal with stem borers and striga weeds, which attack crops such as maize. Instead of relying exclusively on synthetic pesticides, farmers grow pest-repelling plants such as desmodium, which push the pests away in among the main crop. They also plant borders around their fields of other crops such as napier grass, which attracts pests. See, here the examples is a push-pull integrated pest management, which is also the good management system. Push-pull is a method of pest control that was developed in East Africa. This push-pull is also was a method of pest control. How it was developed in East Africa, how it helps the farmers, let us say. It deal with stem borers and striga weeds, which attack crops such as maize. Instead of relying exclusively on synthetic pesticides, farmers grow pest-repelling plants such as desmodium, which push the pests away. So, around the farms, they should plant those desmodium plants. Is among the among and around among the main crop. They also plant borders around their fields of other crops such as napier grass, which attracts pests. They pull that pests. This keeps pests away from the main cereal crops. Then these plants will attract the pests. They won't attack on main cereal crops, reducing losses. When we do like this, when we follow this system, we can reduce the loss in the crop. In recent years, push-pull systems have been adapted to include plants such as bracharia, which can tolerate hotter and drier climates. Now, not only to avoid the pest, and to avoid the tolerate hotter and drier climates also. Such systems are used across 69,000 small farms across Kenya, Uganda, Tanzania, and Ethiopia. In that area, in that countries, in that particular countries, among all these countries, they were using 69,000 small farmers are using that. Other methods of redesign are also being practiced at scale by small farmers in other places. In India, 140,000 farmers in Andhra Pradesh and an estimated 1 lakh in Karnataka practice zero budget natural farming. This is an initiative which promotes the natural growth of crops without adding any synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. In Africa, small farmers in Burkina Faso and Niger have taken up agroforestry and soil and water conservation and transformed the landscape of around 5 lakhs hectares of degraded land. See, other methods of redesign are also being practiced. Not only that, the other system also, other methods also our people have been following. At scale by small farmers in other places. In India also we can see in different areas. 1,40,000 farmers in Andhra Pradesh and estimated 1 lakh in Karnataka practice zero budget natural farming. They are planned the zero budget natural farming system. 1,40,000 farmers in Andhra Pradesh, 1 lakh farmers in Karnataka, our neighboring state. This is an initiative which promotes the natural growth of crops without adding any synthetic fertilizers and pesticides. It is a inevitable thing. It is a inevitable innovation in agriculture system, because to avoid the pesticide, to avoid the fertilizer, which is more and more important in our way of agriculture in cultivating system. In Africa, small farmers in Burkina Faso and Niger have taken up agroforestry and soil and water conservation. In African countries also they are following this and transformed the landscape of around 5 lakhs hectares of degraded land. They were transformed their 5 lakhs of acres of land in organic agriculture system. The redesign of agriculture offers the best chances for achieving lower carbon climate proof agriculture in the 21st century, but it requires new partnerships between farmers, development agencies, government and researchers. Farming is knowledge intensive and will be increasingly so in a changing world. Sustainable intensification initiatives that have spread to scale have all involved new initiatives to support collaboration and learning. Farmer field schools training programs for local farmers are key to this. So are plant breeding programs in which participating farmers get opportunities to make decisions at different stages during the process. The redesign of agriculture offers the best chances for achieving lower carbon climate proof agriculture in the 21st century. It is very happy to say the 21st century agriculture system is trying to protect the environment as well as the health of the people, but it requires new partnerships between farmers and development agencies. But this 21st century, it requires the new partnerships between farmers as well as development agencies, governments and researchers, as well as between the government and researchers. Farming is knowledge intensive and will be increasingly so in a changing world. This farming is a knowledge intensive. It has been continuously changing the world. Sustainable intensification initiatives that have spread to scale have all involved new initiatives to support collaboration and learning. The sustainable intensification, it is collaborating to learn the new things. Farmer field schools training programs for local farmers are the key to this. Here she was saying we have to conduct the local training program for the farmers, it will get changes. So are plant breeding programs in which participating farmers get opportunities to make decisions at different stages during the process. When we do the things in the process, the decisions will come out in different stages. Ultimately, climate proofing is best achieved by improving the sustainability of existing systems. Small farmers already know that what works. The challenge remains to help them spearhead the global spread of redesigned agriculture. See, ultimately, climate proofing is best achieved by improving the sustainability of existing system. It is improving the climate proofing is the improving the sustainability of existing system. Small farmers already know that what works, means what they have to do, they know it. The challenge remains to help them spearhead the global spread of redesigned agriculture. This challenge, remains to help the spearhead the global spread of redesign of agriculture. Thank you, friends, for having the patience to listen my class. Thank you very much. Let's meet again by next class tomorrow morning.